Hello there, my name's Miss Hooper and I'm the Head of History and Government and Politics at Harrogate Grammar School. In the department there are 3 teachers of politics who are also teachers of history. We've got Miss Devi and Mrs Panagaku as well as myself, so it may be that you end up with one or more of us for politics and history at the same time, so lucky you. It's such an exciting time to be studying politics at the moment. We are still dealing as a country with the fallout from Brexit, still not been resolved. It's also been absolutely fascinating and scary at times to look at how governments around the world have been dealing with the pandemic. And we can make a direct link to politics there. We can look at the leaders of those particular countries, the parties that they're members of, and the ideologies that underpin their political thought and therefore how they have responded to the crisis. As well as that, we're currently in a period of change with the Black Lives Matter movement, where we're really learning more about big concepts such as racism and how we can ensure that society is equal. I want to take a moment just to thank all of you for the really hard work that you've put in to the first phase of your bridging materials. We've looked over these and we're absolutely blown away by the quality of these resources that you've produced and the hard work that you've put into those. It fills us with confidence and excitement to meet you in September, to know that we're getting such a diligent and hard-working group of students as part of our cohort. Today, you'll be receiving the second set of bridging materials. Whereas the first set helped you to develop your core understanding of British politics, for example, you learnt about the British political parties and their leaders, and you also learnt about some of the core concepts that underpin British politics, such as constitutionalism and parliamentary sovereignty. In your second set, we really want to expand your knowledge and bring in a global element. So, in your second booklet, you're going to receive a project piece of work on American politics and also global politics, as well as getting to grips in a bit more depth with the British Constitution and some of the theoretical ideas behind that. When you start in September, Unit 2 will focus on the Constitution, and so this part of your bridging material is really going to help underpin these new ideas that you're going to start thinking about in September. The second part of phase 2 of your bridging materials asks you to think about the US and global politics, and encourages you to do some research into the political systems of America and a country of your choice. Again, we can directly link this to our politics course. In Year 13, you're going to spend much of the year studying US politics, and of course it's a time where everything could change over the course of your A-level. In theory, we've got a US election in November. Doesn't seem to be going too brilliantly for Trump at the moment. Is he going to be the comeback kid? What do you predict is going to happen with the US election and therefore the next 4 years of US political history? So what can you be doing at this time to make sure that you're engaged with politics? Well, because you want to study an A-level in it, I bet you're already really interested in politics, and I bet you've been glued to the news over the past few months, particularly while you've had a little bit more time on your hands. As a good politics student, I definitely recommend you following lots of political commentators on Twitter and other social media. Simple Politics on Instagram is absolutely fantastic for really concise updates. I would also encourage you to download the apps of reputable broadsheet newspapers on your phone. I would recommend you download The Guardian or The Independent and potentially subscribe to The Times as well as The Economist. All of these things and this wider reading are going to help you to keep your finger on the pulse of what is happening in politics, and they're absolutely going to enhance the quality of your written work and your conversations, and they're just generally going to make you feel really clever, because remember, you're going to be the one with an opinion that is backed up with political evidence. We're so excited to meet you in September, and we really hope you enjoy the summer break, that you keep safe and that you are well when we see you in September, and have a great break.